I'd love to kick it off with something a little fun. Like, I just want to know, what was your favorite part about working with each other? Is there like a scene or a moment where you were like, wow, she's really good, or he's really good?
You're like, wow, they lied about her. She is not good. I
Or
don't know if I can pick specific scenes or anything. I mean, I do remember when Chasuke first came in and just I saw him read in this role, and it was just so transporting and so arresting. And it's very strange to talk about you while you're here, but he's very transformative as an actor. Like, he's the nicest man in the world, and then he was able to just transform and play this sort of regal, lethal, restrained character who was like Paul Newman. You know, it was just so exciting watching him shapeshift like that. But I loved all of our scenes where you see the modernity of the love story. I mean, of course, the action's fun and we had a blast doing it, but it's their scenes where they talk and they connect and they test the waters with each other that I loved so much. They were such tender scenes. And yeah, I loved doing those ones.
Oh, Chasuke, that was such a good answer. Imagine if you weren't there, what you would have said.
Yeah, I would have really said nice things.
Chasuke, how about for you? What was the moment where you were like, oh my gosh, wow?
I'd have to go back to the audition where I was really nervous acting in front of her, and I had to tell her that, and she was really cool about it. Her and Hugo were really cool. They let me stop, take a breath, and then we just we talked for a bit, and we went right into it. And I don't do that, but I was really, really nervous. And for me, I would say, like, I really like the compass scene.
Yeah, I love that
love
scene.
the compass scene and filming it. And watching it, actually watching the end product, you could see how much you're holding that scene all together. It's all you. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful to see that. And that's one of the scenes I really loved filming it too. I think those are my favorite scenes, was the compass scene.
Yeah. Emily, you had him at hello, it seems like, so this is perfect. So, now a more serious question. I think we're in an interesting time in our country where people are really fighting against teaching accurate history. So, what's been labeled as critical race theory. So, bearing that in mind, why do you think stories like this are so important?
I think because they honor history and they illuminate a lot for people. And you want people to kind of take a seat at the end of this and really contemplate what went down. And I think, there is a lot of blood on the ground in this country. And I think it's important for people to see that and absorb it and honor it. And I think that's what I loved about this show, that yes, it's entertaining, it's a chase thriller, it's a love story, you will be swept away by it. But history is sort of peppered in there for you to absorb and think about if you want to. It's not meant to be confronting, it's not meant to be a sort of assault on your system historically, but it's there for you to absorb.
Chasuke, anything to add?
Yes, I do. I agree, to acknowledge the history of the country. And even though it's a film, but it does touch on a lot of subjects of that. And also the history of the Westerns in Hollywood, for being a Native American to be in a movie like this and to play a part like this, which is usually reserved for, Newman, Eastwood, all the other greats. It's a big honor. And also it's a privilege to do something like this. It's fun.
Awesome. You guys do such a great job. And Emily, I have to say, when Ciarán Hinds punches you, my jaw was like on the floor for a good 1 minute. I was like, what? I rewound
No,
it.
it's so shocking. It's so jarring. And I remember when we were shooting that scene, like Ciarán Hinds has hands the size of a bear. And I remember just looking at him going, you better miss. You better know how to pull this punch, because if that connects, I'll never get up again. But he was a joy to work with, and he's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
But yes, the punch people talk about, it is so shocking and so violent.
Yeah.
It's what the show really speaks to the tone of the show and the syncopation of the show. Like the bouts of violence come out of nowhere, and they're really shocking.